check safely every year, bro.
I feel that. For real. It's important, man. Fitness, like it's something that hey, if you don't take care of your body, you can't take care of nothing else. Like for real. Health is wealth. That's the mentality we gotta go into. Health is wealth. If you get all the money in the world, you can't spend it if you about to, like for real. So it's a deep zone, man. And I be eating junk food. I be eating bullshit. That's my problem. Like I be eating bull. But what's up, YouTube, man?
Yeah.
This is the What Is a Man Live podcast. I done started it. We was talking about the gym and things of that nature. But nah, we going live tonight, man. We ain't talking about too much. We got a couple of topics for y'all. Hopefully we can have a good discussion. I got the brothers here. Y'all see the names. Y'all know what's going on from the last week. These some good brothers. Got a lot of good perspectives. Got some knowledge, some wisdom here, man. So we about to tap in and we about to see what we can do. With this first topic right here, and I want Ace to provide his context on what this topic means. So what's the overall rabbit hole you would like for us to go down with this topic right here, which is first of all, subscribe to the Building Kings Network if you're watching, or if you're tuning in on the replay. Subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna get into it. What is consent? What is consent?
You want me to jump into it now, or
I want you to provide
okay?
context on how you would like for us to answer what is consent.
This question was brought about because I was I don't know if y'all too familiar with the Lapeef Network, but there was a couple of them up there having a discussion, and this one guy brought it up and was saying like pretty much like when it comes down to, I guess you could say, the sexual activity, it's like neither side actually gives consent or whatever you can say, because like I said, we've been seeing this kind of stuff show up frequently ever since the whole Me Too movement thing. And I just want to know, like, from y'all perspective, what do y'all view as consent? Because even amongst our coworkers at work with me and Tyree, we literally had people give just different versions of what they considered to be consent. And out of all the versions that they gave, nobody, not too many of them really said a definite yes or a definite no. So I guess that's the context behind it. So y'all can give y'all thoughts on it.
Hmm. Okay. So you mean in the aspect of consensual sex?
Yeah.
Hmm. Any of y'all brothers like to chime in? Any of y'all brothers like to tackle that question? What's consent? What is? I
Go
mean,
ahead.
he kind of subtracted kind of the, I guess, the verbal aspect of it, because it is verbal consent. Then you got non-verbal consent, I guess. When we talking about sexual consent. So what is in 2022, especially? There's some crazy stuff going on. You got it's I mean, you got Me Too, and then you got the ones running around and they'll jump on you
Consent.
and expect you to, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So what is consent?
Consent is tricky these days though,
Absolutely.
because you could be on the internet, you could say one thing, like you could be saying, I want you to like some lyrics or something, right? You may be saying, a girl may be saying, a woman may be saying Cardi B lyrics, right? But when you pull up on her, she might not be feeling that way, or she may be feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah,
gets tricky.
I feel that. I feel like the vibe
Yeah.
could be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because a lot of, I mean,
Absolutely.
when I was single, I'm married now, but when I was single, I know that shoot, a lot of women they be saying this and that. Sometimes they be with it, but sometimes it just be a whole game out here, you know?
Yeah, cat and
So you
mouse.
gotta really be careful.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that because you do got certain examples of football players. I mean, celebrities that I'm sure they at the moment thought they were having consensual sex or not. I mean, you do got the Bill Cosbys and the R. Kellys of the world, but I mean, no disrespect to Bill. But what I'm saying is, I mean, consent can get sticky depending on, you know, a lot of different factors. So it's like, I don't know.
Especially when it's the definition of sexual harassment varies. Like you, like I seen women cuss guys out. Well, I mean, if we talking about consent, you got to think about what if you didn't have consent,
right?
And you know what I mean, like you have women fussing guys out simply because they dropped their wallet in the gas station. Tomorrow you're sexually harassing me now. Like, stop following me. It's like bro, what? But anyway, like when I was in the service, we used to have full on squadron meetings like every week about consent and sexual harassment. They were like, if a girl has anything to drink, she can't give it. I'm like, what? It's sexual harassment if you do anything to a girl, she's intoxicated. But at the same time, if I'm intoxicated as well. You know what I mean? So I think consent is basically permission.
Yeah.
Permission to interact with another person.
Essentially. I agree with that, essentially. Permission. And it's like, yeah, it's a deep zone though, because that's the thing, it can be misinterpreted. And that especially if there's no clear path to that permission. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people take giving that permission or receiving that permission in different ways.
I'm saying that.
You see what I'm saying? So
do y'all feel that consent is one-sided, like it's more favorable for the woman?
Say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all feel like it's more favorable for the women? Consent?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, because they already assumed that as a man you already want sex anyway, so it's not like they gotta ask you for your consent.
Yeah, because for example, a woman,
absolutely,
like a dude touch a woman. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
A dude can touch a woman butt, right? And get in trouble very quick. A woman can touch a man and, you know, nothing don't happen. They're going to be like, hey, dude, you know, just take it on the head.
Exactly.
You're laughed at, though.
For real.
Hey,
you can't have a problem.
She didn't ask you for your consent.
That says something, though.
Yeah. She asked you for your consent.
I mean, that's deep. That's deep. So is consent more favorable to the woman? I mean, because you better make sure you got consent. You got permission.
Hey, boy, that more just like a field trip. Field trip sheet these days. You better make sure you have it.
I'm punching them in the face, man.
For real. You got to make sure now. I mean,
see, it's to the point. It's to the point now. You damn near gotta have that shit in writing, bro.
Yeah,
you damn near gotta have that shit notarized, bro.
Might as well, because it's like if you can have the consent, and then it becomes a situation where she mad, or you know what I'm saying, and now all of a sudden it's a whole nother scenario.
Because I don't know if y'all too familiar with the comedian Aziz Ansari, but it was a case about a couple years back where he was interacting with a lady friend. She consented to every single thing that he wanted to do sexually,
Yeah,
consented
like for
everything. But
real.
toward the end of it, now she hits him with he sexually harassed me.
Hmm,
Crazy.
That
I
shit
see that.
wild.
crazy. That's why it's good to have when you texting and stuff like that. It's good to keep those texts because you never know what's gonna happen. But I mean, the police, even though you delete it, they still gonna have it anyway.
Yeah.
But that'll help you out definitely. For
It's
real,
fact.
for real.
It's a deep zone. Nico,
What's
Yep,
going
it
on?
happens.
what's going on, brother? Welcome, welcome. We talking about consent, brother. My bad, Jabir. I ain't mean to cut you off. We talking about consent, Nico.
Okay.
Uh, what is consent? In this what is
Uh,
define sexual consent?
and but at the what's up, Nico?
So I mean, like in this day and age, I don't think that it's necessarily like a consent between the two people. Like for
Right.
instance, you could just be like texting about it, or you feel me like y'all could just be chilling and
Nah, I ain't saying
the
that.
shit just happen. But like the actual consent thing would be to like to ask if if it's cool, basically. But I mean, I don't really think that goes on nowadays, honestly. Because I mean, look at married people. You feel me? Like I don't ask my wife like the shit just happened. So I mean, like I ain't ask my wife, hey babe, like, let me get some. You feel me? So
uh,
I feel that. I
that's
feel
a
that.
good point of view.
No doubt. Consent. I mean, so married people though. Let's talk about that. I mean, is it? And we ain't gotta get too deep. We already know you know what I'm saying.
Hey, first of all, y'all brothers good. Seem like it's tension in there. Not like bad tension. I don't know if y'all nervous or what.
I don't. I think the
Y'all
connection
good?
is delayed.
Yeah, everybody good.
I think we need to ask, what is
I
a
guess
man?
it's.
Oh man, hold on. Let me get Blunt back in. There you go. That Jabir connection. I think Jabir connection went on. Well, yeah, though. We talking about consent pretty much though, man. And I don't know. It was one of those topics we wanted to chime in on because it's simple fact. There's a lot of stuff going on in the media where men, I mean, you can easily be demonized just simply off of just look at what happened to Emmett Till like that, and that's a small example, but he verbally expressed himself allegedly, and it got him killed. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't, I guess, consent to that, or she didn't appreciate that. It was something that was used.
but he just whistled at it, didn't he? And then come to find out he didn't even do it, right?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it can go deep to where it's just like if you do anything as a man to a woman that's not desired, it can be used against you.
But what's like crazy? A woman can literally sexually harass a male and nothing gets done about it. Absolutely
Right.
nothing.
Exactly.
Like they will touch you against your own will. They will do everything in the book, but nothing will get done.
We just
Because
said
it's
that,
like
man.
it's
It's definitely.
perceived that the man should automatically like it just because it's a sexual act.
Right. That's the thing. Folks, you'll be considered a lame almost if you say something, you know what I'm saying, about it. Like, yo, I'm feeling some type of way. You shouldn't have did that. So it's a deep zone. It's like, I mean, it's so strong towards the woman's side. Like they benefit from it more when it should be the same, I guess, across the board. Like, I mean, a man's consent should matter more so too as well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, but I'm just saying it's a deep zone. Bro, back in.
Man, my bad.
That's facts though.
Nah, you good. Bro.
Ain't nothing you can do about it. It is what it is at this point, So It's men. We just got to deal with it.
Do you think it's more because women are more verbally open about sexuality than man is?
Mm. Yeah. I mean, psychology says that women are better with their words than men are.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that.
See, I don't even know about that.
That's what I'm trying to see. But now, I mean, because women are, but I think that plays into the problem, though. It's like the fact that there are women out there that are expressing themselves more so in a sexual manner, and it's like it's harder for the man to, especially if consent is not clear. Because, like we said, you got verbal consent and you got non-verbal consent. So it's like certain things are presented in a way to where it's like, is this consent? You see what I'm saying?
man,
Explain nonverbal consent. That's what I
It can
want to
be
get on.
gestures, it can be looks, it can be,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I mean, that could. It's a wide array of things that could be,
And
but
of
it's
course,
still.
we married men now, but I'm speaking on in a single sense. You know what I'm saying? We was out there.
But it's still like
You
as
pick
of
up on it.
today. As of today, like the nonverbal, it'll be subjective to the person. So it's whatever the woman would deem nonverbal consent, I would say. So
What you got?
it's nothing objective. So
Wow, you got to blow up down there. What's up, bro?
No, cause it's dog, man. She
All
own
right,
me.
all right.
But
I got you.
so the thing about like the non-verbal consent versus the verbal consent, like it's all because what things are alluded to. Like right now, I can have a chick over, like I got a text on my phone, whatever we agree, like chill at my place, whatnot, blah blah blah. We sit on the couch, you know what I mean? She hugged up on me. I might, little rubby, touching here and there, both of us. And so I make like an extra move. A woman has no problem at that point verbally, like it's all alluded to, like, yeah, we're gonna, go all the way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's alluded to. But a woman has no problem being like, no, not today, like I'm not ready, whatever, cool. And we can respect that. But you gotta think about it from a man perspective. How many times does a man like, no, not today, I'm not ready, we should wait, we should hold off? But there's nothing wrong with that. But
yeah,
as men, why don't we do that? Like what as like you guys are all married, but when you were single, when did you ever like chill with a girl and be like, you wanna have sex? Do you get permission to have sex? You know what I mean? We don't. Everything was just alluded to that. You know what I mean? So, and even when it comes like to verbal consent, at the end of the day, that's still a risk because when it's all said and done, it's your word against hers.
Right.
So
Yeah. So it's like it's sticky because nobody's asking that question like, yo, you want to have sex? But it's you kill the vibe. Like that's what I'm saying. It's you expect
exactly
a vibe type of scenario. So it's not like we just asking these type of questions. So it's like, but that's the right way to do it apparently because consent makes sure that we both have that understanding. But it's like even still, like you said, it's still a verbal agreement. It's still something that we came to verbally without documentation. So we can't prove it. It's my word against yours, kind of sort of.
man.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying that shit don't work all the time because like girls, they be like, sex is supposed to just happen naturally. You shouldn't have to ask or this, that, and third. But if you just go and make a move, they be like, oh, what is you doing? I didn't give you consent. So I'm just like, bro. Like, for instance, there's a guy that was at a Coi Leray concert, got in trouble for grabbing her butt while she was giving this nigga a lap dance.
A whole lap dance.
Like, she was throwing it back on his meat. Like,
he wasn't supposed to do nothing.
Right? He ain't supposed to just, like, all he, like, I can see if he try to lick it or something, but, like, bro.
Brothers take that as consent.
Like for example, as men, we would ask for consent during the action, meaning like while you're having sex, hey baby, you gonna let me bend you over and such and such. And why in the moment she might be like, yes, you can do this, like, oh, that's, you know what I'm saying? But like prior, ain't no man really asking too much of nothing.
Shit.
We
And
just it's alluded, and we just going off of the vibe that we pick up.
when
Right.
when I was dating, so when I was in high school, my drill sergeant, he used to say this phrase. He was like permission to touch, and that shit just rubbed off on me. So like before, like I even like gave a girl a hug or anything, I'd be like, hey, permission to touch, and they thought I was playing, but like I was dead ass the whole time, and I wait for them to say it. If they don't say yeah, I'm not touching you.
Hey,
You got you have to do it, especially in today's time, because as we see time and time again, it's so easy to weaponize this stuff to where you can destroy somebody's livelihood just depending on how a woman can destroy your livelihood just depending on how she feels at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That shit crazy, bro. That shit
Like,
crazy.
and speaking on like what you said, like pick it back up for YouTube. Like I say, even in the moment, like kissing or whatever on the couch, my hand like starts to move places. I really catch myself saying, like, you okay? Like, you straight with that? And she might be like, yeah, but at the same time, I just be in the moment. So like in the moment, like, yeah, I have permission, but it's all said and done. Still, it's like they don't really have permission. Was that really, you know what I'm saying? Were you in your right
Yeah,
mind?
sometimes you gotta
You know what
double
I'm saying?
check. Yeah.
Because like that's another thing about like I touched on earlier. If a woman is intoxicated and you have sex with her, she wasn't in her right mind. So therefore, you can go down for that. But
Mm.
even in that heat of the moment, is she even in her right mind still? Y'all married, man. Y'all lucky.
I was about to say first off,
we've been out the way, man.
Hey, but
We've been out the way for a little bit. But I mean, I feel like it's a deep zone regardless. Because even I mean, these 2022 people, these folks a little different though.
absolutely,
They're a little different.
absolutely.
I mean,
That's like each generation getting softer and softer.
yeah,
it's
So I mean,
weird, bro.
certain things you can't even say, like literally, and have it
Man,
not be true.
I was
So,
listening to this whole feminist thing, and the girl said I can be butt naked sitting on top of your lap. If I tell you can't touch me, you can't touch me. I'm like, who said you can touch me, bitch? I'm sorry.
that's the thing. Like, what do you mean? Right here.
Like,
I
for
think it's
real,
a
man. Like,
control thing, man. To be honest, I think it's like a power thing.
it is. It
Some
is.
women, you know, I'm about women rights, but I think some women, they want power over men, and that's one of their powers right there, sexuality.
And
Yeah.
look, like I
Our
tell
power is saying
folks,
no to it though.
bro, ain't nobody gonna give up a superpower. If you got something that you can beat somebody with, ain't nobody giving up a superpower.
Like like
Mm.
my man saw for episode Girlfriends.
That's
You
real.
can't you can't have a start. You can't sit a freshly cooked steak in front of a starving man. He's not just gonna look at it. This man going to eat a motherfucker.
Yeah. Every
I
time.
don't know about that, bro. Because a trained dog ain't gonna eat until you tell him to eat.
Sheesh.
And that was their response, right? And I was like, I'm not a dog. I am not your pet. I am not subservient to you. She's
Right.
like,
Right.
I'd be ready to fight, bro. I swear.
Hey,
I want to be equal so bad. Throw these hands up. What's
this
up?
is deep zone here then. So I'm gonna ask the married man this question. So does consent leave when you get married?
Ooh, I'm gonna listen to this one.
You
I
said,
feel
Does
like
does
I feel
consent
like
leave
hell
when you
yeah,
get married?
like I don't know. I ain't about to rape you, you feel me? But you feel me?
I can buy
Like
it.
I don't feel like a married man should have to ask for sex from his wife. Like as long as she ain't, you feel me, like on her period or nothing, you feel me? But I mean, I don't feel like a married man should have to ask. Cause I feel like when y'all was like when motherfuckers was dating now, was you asking to get some? Hell no, so I gotta ask now.
And then certain, you know, religious beliefs, they believe that that women should do that for that man, you know? Multiple religions.
Men too. Like they said, you ain't supposed to never deny your wife, and a wife better don't supposed to deny their husband.
Unless it's a
Fact.
period of fasting. Unless you fasting.
Yeah, unless you
Yeah,
fast.
unless you fast.
And then they say come back quickly before the adversary can attempt you, dog. That's the
Back
thing,
quick as
dog.
hell.
Yeah, I just wanted to know because that's the thing. I mean, consent. It's a deep zone, man, and a lot of people feel like, especially in a marriage, it's still consent. There's still things that are more so consensual, like, and it's not like, I mean, just like y'all done explained beautifully, there's certain standards that come with it. So I figure it out. But I mean, y'all ain't got nothing else to chime in on this topic, man. I feel like we got overall understanding that men better make sure they ask a couple of times, I guess.
Yeah,
Get
like
a contract
hey,
and a lawyer.
like I said on another episode, treat your man's like it's your social security card. You can't give it out to anybody because it's gonna mess you up.
Ooh,
You playing around with fire.
facts.
Yeah.
Some real rap.
Because at the time you may think she for you, but she probably give it to you a couple times and be setting you up the whole time for failure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother topic right there, dog.
I done had that happen to me.
Right on.
Jeez.
Tough one right there, now. But we
What they call it? And we about to move on, but what they call it in the Bible, the strange woman?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a different type
But
of
yeah, we
trapping
can
right there.
move on.
That's that. That's what I'm saying. We gotta talk about that Proverbs. What is it? Proverbs 38? Is that what it is? Proverbs
I
33?
don't know. Something like that.
We're gonna talk about that woman if we're gonna talk about the biblical woman, though.
Oh yeah.
Men got a standard to uphold and women got a standard to uphold too. For real, man. We all left that. That's the thing, bro. But hold on. Next topic though, man, because y'all brothers going deep. We're gonna hit y'all with this one. What is financial freedom? As in 2022, just because I know the terms.
Okay, so does that mean like in a like as a money standpoint, or I mean, you could also be like financially free from, like in a spiritual sense as well.
Oh, I know. As in, money don't control you. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Just in general, what is financial freedom? What does it mean to be financially free? What does it mean to be, especially in 2022? How do you obtain financial freedom in 2022?
I think it's what both of them brothers just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's both. Like, I personally, I believe if you got a roof over your head, you got food in your refrigerator. First of all, I have a refrigerator. That's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Your bills are paid. And my thing is, that's not enough though. We're not put on this world to pay bills and die. You feel me? So my kids got to be taken care of. At least one generation behind me got to be taken care of. And able to enjoy life still. But at the same time, I reached a point in my life where my accomplishment and my possessions can't define my state of mind anymore. You know what I mean? Like being financial free, like he was saying, is not being connected to the money. Like I can lose all my money and still have joy. That is real freedom. When money is today's whip. It is definitely today's whip. We act like we was put on this planet for free. Like think about that. And we have food. You can have shelter. You can do all of that for free, but we're stuck in this system of slavery. You can't escape it. You understand? You got to go through so much to escape it. But that's just my opinion.
So I kind of want to piggyback off what he was just saying. So basically, like, I know y'all seen the movie The Matrix. So like, I feel like basically the whole have to know work and you just dying. I just feel like that shit is a program within this system that we have been programmed to do. And the shit is wild because like my man just said, we is not supposed to be damn working until we 65 to get some damn retirement money and chilling for the next 5, maybe 6 years most, however long. Like we ain't supposed to be doing that shit. Like Buddy just said, we came here free as hell. Like, so I just feel like all that shit is a program. Like we've been programmed to basically just do the shit, and that shit sucked that we got to do it to survive, basically. You know, so
it's deep. It's deep.
So I feel like being able to break from that programming of, you know, having to work to have, you know, because like if you look at it in a spiritual aspect, you can connect with the divine source, and you and the Most High can have a connection, and hey, he just give you feel me, whatever you asking for, and you ain't even got to work. You feel me? So I've seen it.
Yes,
People don't
facts.
work. They just connect. They just connected with the Most High, and you know they can just chop it up with him, and he just giving them what they want every single time, and they ain't even got to work. They always got food. They ain't never got to worry about no bills. You feel me? Like, so I feel like that's another way of being financially freedom is being able to depend on the Most High as well.
He'll supply all your needs according to his riches and glory.
There we go.
Now, let me ask this, Terry. When you say are we talking like as far as people living comfortably, or like what are you asking?
It's just in general, what is financial freedom? Because my thing is, it's like all of what they saying. You see what I'm saying? Because you essentially we want to get to the point, I feel like, of freedom of time. Everybody that's financially free, quote unquote, they're getting to the point of freedom of time, to where you don't have to be on another person's scheduling. You have to be on another person's time. You see what I'm saying? It's the fact that you can make your money and you got the freedom to roam freely and do as you want without being bogged down to the regular 9 to 5 or the 12 hours a day or so that you can get to that point of what the brothers are saying spiritually. You know what I'm saying? You have more time.
Well, to answer it from there, I don't see that happening in our lifetime.
What you mean?
Because you said to the point, pretty much it's like you're saying, like it pretty much is majority of people were entrepreneurs. Even in that sense, even if majority of people are entrepreneurs, you still got to have people working under you. So it's still people that's dedicating their time to your plan or what you're trying to do. So, but across the board, I don't see not talking on the spiritual side, but if we're just talking about on the business side of it, I mean, as long as you walk this earth, the majority of people will never see over 100K in their damn lifetime. So I'm talking about as a salary. I mean, like you won't never really see financial freedom like that, because you still going, like, even if you own your house, own your car, guess what? You still gotta pay property taxes on that shit at the end of the day. So you would never truly be financially free. Now, unless you do what the brother said, and disconnect yourself from the grid, and live off that motherfucker. Like, unless you do something like that, you will never truly be financially free
in America.
Yeah, you never truly be financially free.
Hey, but listen here. That's why you study to show yourself approved.
Say that.
There's ways around it. Like, I literally prayed for everything I have, and I ain't like the way how I got it. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't understand what I had to go through, but like, I got a house and land, and I don't pay taxes. I don't pay property taxes. I don't, and there's ways around it. There's if you understand law and sovereignty and how other people are getting away with it. And there's legal ways to get by it, but it's not easy. You feel me? Mine is just through the military and all, but there's ways that civilians can do it, and I've seen it done where you can have all of that and don't need permission from the government. They can't dip in your pot. This is another thing called kingdom building. And to me, in order to be financial free, is first we literally have to change. We have to break those chains of consumerism that the United States has put on us. We always need to have more. We need this, that, and third. No, how about you take yourself down a level? You know what I mean? And then you realize that I can achieve actual joy outside of the materialistic world. You know what I mean? But this is called self-growth. This is personally, I don't think you can separate the spiritual from anything. That's my personal belief. Because if you can have control of your spiritual self, everything else will fall in place.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, like, when it comes to, like you said, you always gonna have to pay bills. Like, you might have to go off the grid. You know what I mean? You might have to grow your own food. You might have to do a lot of extra loops to step off the plantation, but it's not impossible. You know what I mean? You have to stay disciplined in all aspects. Like, yeah, I want to do this, but in order to get to where I want to go, I got to cut back on this. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I don't go through things. I'm not rich. Far from it. I was just sitting here like, dang, my light bill was how much? Oh God. You know what I mean? But now I'm learning how I can make the system work for me instead of me working for the system. And you just find people that are already financial free and living their lives. And I'm gonna be honest, I see a lot of people are moving to Africa because they own everything that they got there. And if you're of African American descent, they will even give you a free tour over there, a trip, and you can have rights to land. So, like I said, it's
trying to make up for the diaspora, trying to make up for the slavery, allegedly.
But what's crazy is they should be doing that shit over here because black folks is already over here and that's our land too.
Oh, say that again, bro. Say that. Say that
right,
again,
but I
bro.
think they doing it. I think they doing it, but not with us. Because if you look at, like, I don't know all the rules, but like the Amish people and the Indian reservations, like I done seen the Amish people while I'm out here on the road driving trucks, and they stay to themselves, man. You barely see them. They live off the land.
I have an answer to how they did that.
Okay, I'm listening.
Black folks have not declared themselves as a nation. Everybody else has legally declared themselves as a nation. We haven't. Technically speaking, we are still prisoners of war legally. We have no rights to these other things that's why we haven't got reparations. The Jewish, Japanese, Chinese, the Native Americans, you understand? Like, they all have that. So what we need to do, it's a long list of legal paperwork.
They have that.
Say what?
Us and they can get away with it because, like my man just said, they got money.
You said what? I couldn't hear you.
I said, and that's the exact reason why the police can kill us and get away with it.
Absolutely. You're prisoner.
On purpose. Because we black. That's what we call ourselves.
Exactly. That's not
black itself is not a complexion, it's not a color, it's not nothing that pertains to a people of nationality. And that's the thing. But I asked the question though, what is financial freedom for this specific purpose right here? The whole reason, everything y'all saying. Because can you truly be financially free in this system? In this, we can't truly be financially free in America, and it's by design.
No.
And the thing is, some people may obtain financial freedom or the standards of what financial freedom is, but even to that extent, is that truly financially free or freedom if you're not self-sufficient? If you
That
can't
part.
control the means of where your resources come from or how you obtain your resources, somebody else controls that at the highest level or the highest degree. Is that freedom at all? Like, and that's the thing. It's so many layers to that conversation because the Most High gonna provide regardless. But the thing is, how it works is dead. You can sit in a cave and you can pray for a McDonald's to be built next door to you, and it ain't gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? You got to put works to whatever you believe it on. So it's like
faith without works is dead.
It's dead. So even if you got the, plant the garden on the side, even if you got the whatever you do to make that self-sufficiency happen for you, that's gonna give you the more control over your environment than anything America gonna give you. Like, I mean,
to be honest, bro, it's a community thing. Like you said, one person might be able to do it, but even that one person isn't completely free because he's not supported by a community. Like back to what we were saying in the last podcast, how can we be financially free if our dollar only spends 6 hours within our community? How? Like it's almost impossible because you give your money back to people to control the resources instead of we're using our money to create our own resources, So I agree with Ace. I'm like it's
I feel
right
like
next to impossible. I don't never like saying impossible, but it's right next to impossible.
It's like
I don't really, I want to say it's impossible. I just feel like it wouldn't happen in like this generation unless the Black community comes together as a whole consciousness. Like they gotta be like these motherfuckers. They gotta be all on the same page on what to do and what not to do, basically. And the only way
that ain't gonna happen.
But will really a change will really take place with a whole generation being able to become financially freedom. Everybody's gonna have to be on the same page, basically, like collective conscious type ordeal.
And there's only one way to have a collective conscious, bro. Like I said, I can't separate the spiritual from the physical, bro. But I like science and studying the neural pathways of the brain is absolutely possible for us, maybe in the future, even now, under the right conditions, to connect telepathically. And this it's been tested by neuroscientists that this is possible. Like, I know it sounds crazy. But like, we ain't got no superpowers. I get it. But
it don't sound crazy at all.
Hey, the only thing is though, they gotta put that damn Colgate toothpaste down, cause that's like the main thing that
fluoride.
The fluoride it decalcifies or calcifies the pineal.
Where you going, bro?
To allow a person to connect, to another person telepathically.
Oh, y'all trying to get that Professor X on? All right.
But this is real. This is real science.
Let me watching Netflix.
Because if you look at a diagram of the human skull, but with the nerves within the diagram, if you look at the teeth, everything is connected. The nerves is connected right to. It's like a part up underneath the brain, which is connected. It goes right to the pineal gland. So when you're brushing your teeth and you getting all that fluoride in your mouth, it's fucking up your pot, and that's why like the whole time you brush your teeth years and years, that's why motherfuckers be getting less creative. Like you feel me? Like you get less connected with your inner child. You feel me? Like and it be shit just like that.
It's in the water too.
Fluoride. Yeah, it's in the water. It's in the food. It's in the air.
Alkaline water.
To make you not want to aspire to be more than what you are in your own environment. That's the crazy part. That's what I'm saying. Financial freedom is not nothing that's pushed. Freedom in general is not pushed by any of these organizations that we go to to learn anything. It's on purpose. It's not. And we look at what Cody was saying was entrepreneurship is the only way to that financial freedom, that type of path. Because they say you gotta have 7 different streams of income, pretty much. That's not a typical millionaire. They got about 6 or 7 different streams of income. A lot of people struggling dealing with one stream of income for real. And that's the thing. It's not. They're not teaching us those type of tools, and it's easy to teach those things.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of folks will never see that kind of money in their lifetime. Not as far as the salary goes. Because think about it. If only 10% of Americans make $100K a year, that means you got to make over $100K, because after taxes, that'll put you right at $100K. So you would have to make over $100K a year in order to have that $100K, as far as the salary goes.
Now, I will say this. My wife works at a bank, and she tells me, like, matter of fact, it was a older gentleman that just withdrew like 100,000, and he still had like over 300,000 in his account. And she deal with like customers daily. Within Greenville, it's like millionaires, and you will never know it, which is like fucking insane to know that it's millionaires here in Greenville. Like, and it's a lot of them at that.
Yeah, man, down here in Myrtle Beach, bro. I don't
a lot of them, bro. We walk right past them in Walmart, Target, Best Buy, all of them. Right past them.
Because they look like Bill Gates. Yeah. they got the cargo, they got the little polo shirt. They're not doing all that flashy stuff. That's the thing. And it's like financial freedom. That's what I'm saying. It's not what the rappers show us. It's not what you know what I'm saying. It's really the freedom of time. It's to be able to not miss your daughter, you know what I'm saying, ballet recital, or not miss your son basketball game, and have somebody tell you, oh, bro, you can't go to that because I need you here flipping this burger. I need you to, you know what I'm saying? I need you to be on my clock. That's the thing. If we talking about just financial freedom on the smaller level, like for real, it's not designed for a mass of people to obtain it. Because if I'm a billionaire and you a billionaire and you a billionaire and you a billionaire, what the fuck is a billionaire? That's the thing. Nobody, I can't have everybody on the same level, because at the end of the day, it's no hierarchy then.
And capitalism.
I don't have control. That's right. I don't have control over you if I can make you rich.
And then if everybody a billionaire, the value of the dollar go down.
What's crazy is, even if it was the case where you can have everybody being a billionaire, all it would then lead to is a billionaire will be the new poor class. Because then it will have to be something higher than that.
In order to achieve hierarchy, it will have to be something higher than that, bro. And that's the thing. It's levels of control. That's all it is, bro. And the thing is, there's no middle class no more. You rich or you poor. And the thing is, even that in itself is control. That's all the financial system is. Like, it's control backed off of nothing.
All right. Well, quick question.
So hold on. Quick question. So it's just our spin. Keep it the same in mind, Ace. So the phrase "all men are created equal." Do y'all still believe that to this day?
We only created equal when the shit was wrote. Only created equal.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you said what now?
What aspect?
As far as like you guys are saying, like, when it comes to, I guess, not just financially, but also on a spiritual level as well. Piggyback on the conversation like everybody's had for the past, 10 minutes. Like, do y'all believe like that to be true? Like, regardless of like what your beliefs are, you know what I'm saying?
Spiritual,
no,
you said,
not at all.
You said all men created equal? What, as far as in the country?
No.
We can stick with the country. We can stick with the country.
Hell no, because you got to think the what they made it official in 1776. Slavery didn't end to 1865. So even then, you were still a slave. So there was no equality there.
but it still like in 1865, it still wasn't completely illegal to have slaves.
Exactly.
And it's
So it's
like,
they're still
but get this, when you said, "Are we created equal spiritually?" I'm also saying no. I shared a book in the on Facebook group called "Melanin: A Key to Freedom." That's
Say
the name of
that.
the book,
Come on now.
and it was written by this doctor and peer reviewed by multiple doctors and MDs and professors that show the mental intelligence that melanin gives. It had it. They'll notice they did studies that black children are smarter, walk faster, and black people tend to have a deeper spiritual connection. And in order for them to test and measure a spiritual connection, they first had to prove a spiritual world, and it was done. And they showed that we are literally connected to the earth, which is alive and conscious. And they proved that, bro. Look, it's deep, bro. It's
Come
deep.
on.
Everything, the way that your hair, you think it's by chance that our hair look like trees?
That's why you grow locks out so you can connect with divine sources.
It's antenna, bro. It's literally frequencies and vibrations that run through our bodies, and we are more. Let me stop.
They say you got melanin in your eardrums. It's certain
Hey,
sounds.
look. That man potted tonight,
bro.
boy.
It's certain sounds that we pick up on that white people can't pick up on. It's certain foods that we can taste better. That's why we cook with seasoning, and that's why their food tastes bland. That's why we can our color looks like it does, and theirs look like the way their eye color. Man, that shit gets deep. That's why Bill Gates trying to cover up the sun. Because after a while, white people ain't gonna be able to go outside, but we gonna be able to go outside because of the melanin in our skin. That's what the movie Blade was about. The white people were trying to figure out how they could go out in the sun from Blade. They was trying to get this man and take his melanin and figure out how they can be in the sun.
I seen that on Facebook too. That man trying to pie.
Hey, facts. And what's crazy, what is even crazier, the way he started all of this. He got this information from a Pharaoh king that it was on a tablet written, and they come to find out that the same black substance that melanin is created from is the space that's out there in the universe.
Come on,
it's what they call the ether, which is alive and conscious, and what gives us the ability to create. That's why everybody follows what we do. That's why everybody follows what we do, because we were creators. We are creators. And bro, this is deep. Y'all read that book. I'm still reading it. It gets deep, bro.
Hey man, you have to have a conversation after this podcast.
Y'all boy going deep. Y'all boy going deep, dog.
But we talking about financial freedom, man. Look, I want freedom, period. Give me free.
Respect. Look, that's the overall gist. Like, it's no freedom in general. Like, for real, until we get all types of freedom.
Finance is just another whip. That's all it is.
For real. And that's the thing. I mean, of course, we in Babylon. Of course, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta make it out here. But at the end of the day, spiritually and physically, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and these things should be added. That's what the scriptures say. So, y'all boy going on a deep zone though, man. Y'all going on a deep zone. So, I got one more topic. If anybody got nothing to chime in on, King Savan, you good, man? You got anything to add to it? Been kind of quiet over
there. No, I'm listening, bro. I'm gonna chime in when it's the right time for me.
No doubt. Hey, speak over you, brother. My bad. All right, no doubt. But we gonna switch gears a little bit.
Knowledge.
Yeah, them boys potted, man. Does the black community glorify trauma?
Yes,
absolutely.
That's the last topic for the night. Does the black community glorify trauma? Do we glorify trauma in the black community?
I love it, bro.
Did we always glorify trauma though?
No, absolutely not. Because we were kings and queens. Absolutely not.
So how did this process start and when?
Mm. When did we start glorifying trauma?
I answered this last week.
Because that's the thing. Trauma, I mean, all people, of course, have trauma, but it's like when we look at Black people in general, we can clearly see the effects of trauma still.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
Like still. And nobody ever, I mean, I'm sure it's not no polls or nothing, or they ain't going out to the streets and saying, oh, hey, do you have trauma? Oh, hey, do you have trauma? Nobody's assessed Black people for any traumatic things that may have occurred prior to slavery. Like nobody ever talked to Black people to say, hey, okay, is this something that happens because of slavery?
Bro, that's crazy. I was just not talking to somebody about this. Like today.
Trauma. Plenty of unaddressed trauma, and it's been down from generation to generation to the point we don't even know what it is no more. Like we can't pinpoint it and see why it happened. And that's the crazy part.
And the shit, wow, because you can literally have a conversation with I've had conversation with people and they'll be like, oh, just because you ain't struggle, I know you ain't shit. And I'd be like, wait, why is struggling a bad thing?
Right.
Like, you feel me? Like, why is like I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Why is struggling such a good thing? Like, I didn't have a silver spoon growing up, but my parents made sure I had. Like, why is it a bad thing? Like,
yeah, bro,
that shit is wild. Like, I have people tell me that shit all the
time. Go ahead. It's a little triggering because it's the point of like, okay, like, so I'm not married, nor do I have kids, but then people hear that and it's like, oh, you should be traveling. Like, you should have bread stacked up. I'm just like, what's the equivalency? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people were just saying, just because somebody didn't struggle doesn't mean they don't know how to grind. They don't know what pain is. You know what I'm saying? Like 1 + 1 is 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just because I don't have kids, I'm not married. Like, how you figure like I'm supposed to be taking trips to Cabo right now?
So
I get it, bro. I get it.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, my bad. I was just saying, like, I'm gonna be real. At first, I was like that, and I just sat there and thought, and then I was like, bro, if I'm gonna be honest, if I was single by myself, I still probably have a couple of holes in my drawers, like. But to answer the question, like, Black folks, trauma is the only reparations we receive. That's the only thing we got. So we wear it like a badge of honor because we know couldn't nobody else go through what the hell we went through and still be standing. Nobody else.
No, and like it's oh, my bad, bro. Go ahead. My fault.
No, and I was saying like
right now.
Like Tyree was saying,
he dropped a ball right there.
Yeah, that man potting right there, boy.
He said
it's a reparation. Sheesh.
But that's the only one that gave us. So we took it just like we did the N-word and we made it a thing. That now, you know what I mean? And now you got people trying to appropriate our trauma. Like,
yeah, like it's like we have if one thing our community has in common, it is trauma. You know what I'm saying? Not saying like everybody been through, you know what I'm saying, everybody has the same trauma or everybody has been through trauma. But like I say, everybody, in a sense, you want to like take it that far, everybody came from a family of slaves. That's when we all got the common at this point. So it's just like we had to glorify that because we had that in common. You might not know, like, I don't know, like, before I met any of you guys, it's like, okay, we have one thing in common. Our ancestors were slaves. That's it. I can't take nothing else.
And that's it.
So shouldn't that bring us together though? Unfortunately, you see what I'm saying? Being that we all have that in common, outside of Black.
It's kind of like you get them people that always gotta one up you on everything. Like, oh, you ain't go through that, so you ain't fucking with me type shit. Like, even though that we got the same background type shit, but just because I ain't damn, I won't sleeping on an air mattress. You feel me? Like
Right.
Bruh.
the shit. You feel me?
The struggle.
Yeah,
of
man. I get talked shit about because I had a father in my life.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
I mean,
I'm just like, my parents wasn't the best. Like you said, I damn sure ain't have a silver spoon in my mouth.
Mhm.
But I was raised, and now this is a privilege, and I understand that. I was raised to look at the world through love instead of survival. And there's other people
Mhm.
that looks at the very opposite because they don't know what unconditional love feels like. They
Mhm.
wasn't. I was raised by a village. I'm not even gonna front to you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And because that's how I was raised, people would look at me like I'm soft, and I'm far from it. You know what I mean? I definitely still understand struggle.
it's like, it's a joke. Like, this man right here grew up with his father around, and man, what that supposed to mean? And then like you got people making jokes about it, but it's just like, why is that funny? Like having a father in your life, you know what I mean?
We the only community.
Shit,
The
I got
only
bullied in. I got bullied in high school for having both my parents in the house.
yeah.
Bullying me for having my parents in the household.
Like, why is that a bad thing? Why is that a joke?
Yeah.
Like,
Hurt people.
You ain't struggle enough. Like for real, it's
Yep.
just like,
and
and that's the sad part. We glorify those aspects of struggle, and it's like, why is that you gotta get picked on for not, you know what I'm saying, or you gotta be
not
Mhm.
not only
isolated because you have
glorify,
those things.
not only glorify, we have to compare.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We have to compare the struggle. Like for what? Oh man, you slept on the air mattress? Man, I was sleep on the floor. Like on the floor, like bro, I had to go outside. Like
Mhm.
I was in the garage. Like, why do we have to compare the trauma? For what?
I slept under the ground. Like,
Like,
But it's kind of like the
right?
artist. Like,
Hey,
it's
so
kind of
like
it may
it's kind
it
of
may
like
be that
badass.
it may be that we're glorifying it because it's like we're trying to, it's like a pacifier to us or whatever. We're trying to make it
Mm,
like more relatable, if that makes sense.
mm.
I think it's more because we're just trying to pacify ourselves. Really,
That's facts,
Mhm.
bro.
See,
Trying to make light of.
but that's the thing, like, especially to what Tyree said, if the only thing that relates us to trauma, you would think we would come together before that. It shouldn't take, regardless of how anybody felt about George Floyd's past, it shouldn't take something that severe to happen for us to decide to come together. We should
Mhm.
already want to do that before that.
but
But
Mm,
it's just like, but I can bring that back on. Just like a family, they don't never get together not until somebody die.
mm-hmm.
mhm.
Like
and not only
Mm-hmm.
that,
it,
it's just like it's a group of strangers. It's like I don't know this dude. Like what I gotta like talk to this man for? Like what I gotta give him money out of my pocket? You know what I'm saying? We also have that
Mm.
mentality as well. Like you would think we would come together, but at the same time, on the other side of our mind, it's just like I don't owe this guy nothing.
But
This is a
but
stranger.
but the
Like
problem with that is nobody never says that when it's a black person that's killed by a cop though. Nobody don't say, I don't know this dude. We find a way to come together.
okay, you know what? That's trauma for us. This one individual is trauma for all of us.
Hey,
Go ahead,
I'm
Greg.
gonna put it to y'all this way, and like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like I got PTSD from the military, diagnosed, and going through. And this is one reason why I say mental health is needed in the black community. We see that as a taboo. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? For to seek out therapy or help. So that's why I'm real big on it. But seeing the symptoms of PTSD, like, bruh, it's so clear. I took one psychology class, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, bruh, this seems like every black person I know acts this way. I got a question for y'all. How many of y'all can swim?
I can swim.
Well,
Can swim.
Yeah.
Some-ish.
I can.
I'm about to take the whole family out to get swimming lessons, dog. Cause I can't,
Me
and I
too,
almost drowned
bruh.
as a child.
Hey,
I
look,
almost
dude.
drowned as a child, and I still
Hey,
don't know how to
look.
swim.
Me
Does a
too.
tub count?
That boy said it's a tub count. I know people that avoid the tub because they. Hey, but how many of y'all or y'all guys or know somebody that are scared of dogs?
Shit, I am.
Shit,
You
depending
are?
on what kind of dog we talking about.
All right,
Oh, I'm saying.
all right, but get this
I'll
now,
fight a dog, though. Yeah, I'll
and this
fight
is
that.
proven. PTSD has an effect on your DNA.
Mm.
It can be passed down. Think about this. When they was in slavery
Dang,
and the
that's
slave run away,
real.
what did they do?
Oh, they sick of
When
dogs on
when they took them on the ships, what happened? Okay,
drowning.
you don't think
Oh,
that's
this man
something?
plotting.
Fast
Mm.
forward to the civil rights area. We seen the pictures of the dogs in the water hoses on us. At an early age, our most impressionable age, that's one thing they're gonna teach you in the American schools is how they kept you in line. You understand? So know that this PTSD was done to us on purpose as a weapon of mental warfare.
And
Warfare. That's why I said we are prisoners of war. I understand warfare well. Like you got to break down the mind of the enemy. And the number one way to break down an enemy is to tear up off his communication. And that's why we can't get together. The FBI and the CIA come together and said whenever black communities come together, they will put someone in to create discourse within the community. Admittedly.
Yeah, though.
Yeah, like
they admitted a lot too. They admitted a lot.
Yeah. That's some real big dog stuff. Like, okay, I slapped you in the face. Now what? You ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Yeah.
What's it?
You divided.
Yeah, we don't took everything from you. Stay in your place, boy. That's how it is. You gotta understand, like we are really under attack, have been under attack, and has not stopped. And it's a always big brother watching, just to make sure you stay in your place. But the only way to fix all of that, brothers, the only way to fix for real, we got to start with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Go get mental help. Like, and that's why I thought about personally going into psychology, to be a psychologist, is to reach dudes in the hood. Like, I ain't scared of nobody. Like, I'm being for real. Go to your trap house and talk to them. Talk to the dope boy. If you got to smoke a blunt with him, smoke a blunt with him. But still, unpack that baggage.
It's needed, bro. It's definitely needed.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of these males don't know how to be men, man.
Facts. Like,
They
why
don't
do you
know how
hate
to
your daddy
be
so
men.
much?
So everybody needs somebody that's gonna relate to them.
Mm-hmm. Also, they need somebody that looks like them as well. I don't think they're really gonna receive, or I think that's like the main reason why like most black men don't really, you feel me, fuck with psychologists, because it's a white person. They feel like they can't relate to what the fuck they're going through or what they have been through, trauma wise. Like, even if the white person has been through the exact same shit, you gonna, like, at the end of the day, you gonna still be like, bro, you do not know how I feel to be put in my shoes.
Exactly.
But if I damn see Tyreek and he a psychologist, I'm like, damn, bro might know what the fuck I'm down going through or how I feel with the shit. So I feel like if we had the proper imaging, then I feel like it could get a lot further than what it is.
Absolutely.
And that's real, because that's the thing when we talk about mental health, and everything Nico said he done read my mind right there, because like we don't have them people to vent to. At the end of the day, unfortunately, we at war. So it's like, how can you expect the people over you to mentally advise you out of the trauma they caused you? That's never in their intentions. And at the end of the day, we can't go to the psychiatrist. We can't go to them for psychiatric help or mental health, because they the ones that, what I'm saying, they caused a lot of trauma and never sat down to say, hey, how do we reverse this trauma for these people as a whole? Right to this day. You see what I'm saying? So the best way for us to get that mental health is for us to have some brothers like Jabir was just saying that get into that field so that we can actually help advise our own people from that standpoint of knowing the trauma that's been caused upon us, and also knowing that the establishments in power don't have any intentions on guiding us through this mental strain that's been put on us since slavery.
And I
Facts.
feel
I
like
wanna
another part of it is this, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but just because you go to church doesn't mean you don't need a therapist.
mm,
Like
You said
you
say that
might be
again.
going
Hold
to
on. Say that one more
say
time.
that. Oof.
like for real, like just because you go to church doesn't mean you don't need therapy. Yeah,
Thank you.
you can tell the Most High all your problems, pray about it by all means, but sometimes stop ignoring the prayer. The prayer can lead you to a therapist. If one is gonna help you, two can help you even more.
Faith
Like
without
straight up,
works is dead.
Facts.
like
Mm.
straight up. So
Hey,
like these
my
Gotta
people,
put that work in, man, by going to that therapist.
like for real, like you don't. And the thing is, it's a stigma. Like you have to go to a therapist when things are like at the worst like stage of life. Like no, you can have the best time of life and still go see a therapist. We have to stop waiting till things we get to the breaking point of our life to like want to talk to somebody. Like right now, I'm living good. Like straight up, I'm good. Bills paid, got health insurance, got all this other good stuff.
that don't
But I'm
mean
looking
nothing.
What's
for a
up?
therapist. I'm looking for a therapist right now. Like straight
Bet,
up.
bet.
Feel
And
that.
So I
ain't nothing
wanted to
wrong with
kind
it,
of
bro.
piggyback off what my man said. What's your name? Jabbar?
Jabir.
Jabri? Well, what you said earlier about the trauma being passed down from slavery. I just think that shit is like crazy how it's in our DNA, but you can really tell that we are still connected with our ancestors because
Mm.
of we're still bearing their trauma. Like, granted, I've never been like no. I'll use this example. I've never had a bad experience on a boat. But you know what I always tell my wife? I ain't getting on no boat. Ain't like on for water. You feel me?
Me neither, bro.
But it like with him saying that it just clicked because like look what they were doing to us. You feel me? Like on the boats, they were throwing us off. Like you feel me? Putting anchors on our feet. They was throwing us over water. So that really lets me know like and really confirms that we are still connected with our ancestors that
Generational
are on the
curses.
other side that were you feel me that was fucked up back in the day, and that trauma is still like, and of course they ain't had no psychologists, so the trauma just got passed down, like he said, through the DNA and through the collective consciousness. You feel me? Like, so I'm probably feeling some shit that my old ancestor done went through. That's why I'm probably scared of water, and that's why I'm probably scared of dogs. You feel me? So I just want to piggyback off that. I just think that shit is like bananas. How
Hey,
like, and that's how you really know that the spiritual realm is a legit thing, and we are really connected with the shit.
two. I got two things. One, um, I'm a firm believer in that vibrations and frequencies
Mm-hmm.
have a very effect. Like that's Nikola Tesla said. That's if you want to understand the universe, understand that. So when it comes to language, it means a lot of things, and the word psych, the etymology behind psych, literally means spirits.
Mm.
Like it literally means spirits. And so what that tells me, and that's in Latin. So what that tells me is that the knowledge of the spirit world has been scientifically proven for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And on another note, Nico, I got a question. And this is to all of y'all. Do we want to pass that trauma to the next generation?
Absolutely not.
So I got a question. So how we break that cycle? Tyree already hit on the head the other day. I mean earlier.
I know for me personally, I'm trying to break the trauma with me by step one, by acknowledging I have the trauma, and
Mm-hmm.
step two, facing the trauma. Like for instance, it was something, a small trauma that I had, but I knew it was fixed because like I felt a little bit whole. So when I was younger, like I was in martial arts and my parents took me out of it over some stupid shit that was going on in my old church. But I didn't realize the impact of like the trauma that it had on me until just recently, like 3 months ago. I went back to the same place, took the class again, and I was able to pass to another level, a belt level, whatever. And like I told my wife, I'm like, yo, I just feel like different. Like I feel like a little bit more complete and whole. Like, and that's how I knew I was able to get past that certain trauma. So I know for a fact I have trauma and like I got PTSD. So I'm trying to acknowledge it and I'm trying to fix it within myself first before my son gets old enough. So it doesn't get passed down to him or I don't project my traumas onto him.
And that's hard, bro. I'm telling you, it's a struggle. But like Tyree was saying, and like how you were saying, we got to face it. Like for the first time last week, I went parasailing. Look, I'm horrified of the ocean. Horrified. But once and before that, a few years ago, I went whitewater rafting. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I did that. And I was like, all right, I think I'm okay with the ocean now. I saw that water and I was like, bro, my legs started to shake underneath me. You feel me? But once I got out on the boat, they lifted me up in the air. Like, bro, the sense of peace and accomplishment that came over me, it was amazing. Like, it was a peaceful day and I felt like I was floating and I felt like you said, completed. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I made my ancestors proud. You understand? And I think all of that is necessary.
That's what happens when you face your fear right there.
Yes, bro. And I live it. Every time I get scared, I get excited now. Because that means I was like, oh, that's one more building block to this king and God that I'm building. You feel me? That's one more building block. Once I conquered that, and like both my parents are preachers, you know what I mean? Like, stay in the church. But and I think it's funny to me how you're holy people, but you're scared of everything. I thought the only thing you're supposed to fear is God himself, the Most High himself. So what you scared of? Oh, I'm not doing this. Okay, that's why nothing's changing in your life. That's why you can't manifest your blessings right there.
Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom.
Exactly.
The fear of God is the beginning of the wisdom.
Hey, maybe one day I'll tell y'all my testimony on why I'm the way I am now.
We're gonna get you right, bro.
We're gonna need that.
The whole show right there. For real. We're gonna get you right, bro. But nah, cause it's y'all rounding it off right to where it need to be at though, man. For real, because we gotta not only assess our trauma, but make sure that we don't pass it down. And to make sure we don't pass it down is to have knowledge of it. So the thing is, that's the most important thing, man. It's like we really dealing with generational curses. And that's the same thing we talking about is passed down trauma. It's generational curses. And the thing is, we breaking curses every day. One conversation at a time, one act at a time. So the thing is, we got to acknowledge those things as well, because that's the, you know what I'm saying? That's the motivation to keep breaking the curses.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back when you do break one. You see what I'm saying? Notice when you do break one. And that's the thing. I've been keeping up with certain things, man. And I had to tell my wife the other day, like and not to get too personal, but as a mother, I see that she's doing better than what she had. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted her to know that she broke a curse. You've been here longer than what your mom was when you had. You know what I'm saying? What your mom was for you. So that's even if you leave now, you still broke that curse. You see what I'm saying? So it's like certain things you gotta pinpoint. You gotta pat yourself on the back when you do break those curses. Because that's trauma that's leaving your body. That's that energy, that trauma that's leaving. It's not gonna be passed down to your kids. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't learn how to propel forward outside of that trauma. For real. So now you can do better for your family and the people that love you. So that's the thing, man. I feel like that's how we get to that that one consciousness, that overall, you know what I'm saying, us operating as a people is to heal our trauma, man. And it's like we building kings here, bro. Ain't none of us perfect, but it's one conversation at a time. And this healing right here for me, for real, I enjoy y'all brothers. This is
Yeah.
for real, just to hear different perspectives.
Definitely is, bro. That's why I say we got to do a podcast, man.
For real.
It got to be at least once a week.
Yeah,
maybe one day we'll actually get together, bro. Right? I'm speaking it into existence.
Right now. Hey, we touching and agreeing. We touching and my camera. We touching and agreeing.
Hey, come on now.
Touching and agree. We gonna bring it together for real. I mean, this is needed, bro. We need to come together, man, and talk about the hard things, talk about the uncomfortable things, talk about how we got to where we got it. And if it's wrong, we gotta change it. So it's like I appreciate y'all brothers though, man. Anything else y'all got to add? I don't know what happened to boy Ace. Ace done fell asleep over there. Yeah. Anything else to add, man?
Go and ask us the final question.
Yeah, I already know. What is a man? It hasn't changed. If it hadn't changed for you, if it's the same as last week, that's all right. But since Ace off the camera, I'm gonna go to Nico. Nico,
I'm gonna take the easy answer.
I said mine remains the same.
Yeah, I already know. Yeah, okay, all right.
I'm gonna take the easy answer this week. Facing a man is the person that's gonna face their fear, their trauma, and just own it. You know,
that's powerful.
Own their mistakes, which we've said that before. But yeah,
that's power though. When you can pinpoint it, when you can pinpoint the mistakes, pinpoint the trauma. When you can direct it, then you can perfect it. Oh, that's a bar. Hold on, ooh, a bar. Sorry, who's that blunt? What you got, man?
I'm keeping the same as last week. Like, I think the last episode was just like a man knows how to. He knows when he's supposed to follow. You know what I mean? You can't always lead. Just because you don't lead in a certain situation doesn't make you less of a man.
That's real. No doubt.
Well, I believe a man uplifts other men. That's if you're not picking somebody up, how can you call yourself a king?
Yeah.
Nico.
I gotta admit, after this conversation, my perspective changed a little bit more.
Good. That's what's up.
I wish I had the little applause noise.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that.
So I think now a man is being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Ooh.
Which meaning like when you're in that uncomfortable state, which is recognizing the fucked up shit that you've been through and getting comfortable enough to change what you done been through, because it's very hard to be honest with yourself. That's some hard ass shit, looking yourself in the mirror, that shit tough sometimes. So I feel like a man is somebody that can do that thing, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, being able to look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day, knowing, you feel me, you done did what you had to do to get yourself right, not just for you, because now I'm understanding, the spiritual side. So it's not really just for you, but it's for the generations to come, because that trauma or whatever could be passed down not just to my child, or it be passed down to their child because it won't resolve with me. You feel me? So
yeah, take a stand, bro. I get mad every time I feel like I'm letting my father's demons come on me. Like I catch myself doing certain things that my dad did. I get mad and I start speaking. I was like, no, not today. I refuse. I pass down nothing but blessings, prosperity, and strength down to my kids. It ain't gonna happen, cuz.
That's power.
Mm.
That's power
Yeah.
right there.
And that's
Real
something I
good.
deal with a bit. With was my dad. He left his baby mama, and I would see situations happening to where my son and my wife will become my baby mama. And even still to this day, I see situations happening, and I gotta like remind myself, I'm not going to allow my son to be like my oldest brother, you know, not growing up without me being in his life, you know, because I love my son. So I'm not put up with whatever, but you know, I'm gonna put up with some shit to make sure my family is good and to make sure I'm always in my son's life. So that's an obstacle that I've recognized, you know, the generational curse that I've recognized, and in my father's life that he never resolved, and that shit just came down to me, and I've recognized it, and that's something that I deal with daily. And I just keep in the back of my mind, like, you know, I'm gonna make sure I'm there for my son. I'm gonna make sure, you know, I'm there for my wife, make sure shit good all the time. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
That's
That's
real.
real, brother. Brother, that is beyond real.
That's real. One thing I'm gonna tell you though, bro, even in that is all we can do is try our best.
absolutely.
That's the thing. All we can do is try our best, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I had the same conversation with my dad recently, and me and my dad never talked to. It's certain stuff it's certain conversations I ain't had with my dad until I became certain things I feel like we should have talked about back then or what have you. But it's like,
For real.
what I'm saying is though, all we can do is our best, no matter how it goes. So even in that, because I have a similar, you know what I'm saying, scenario where I want to be the one to break that curse. Like for real, that's my curse to break. I feel like I'm gonna be the whole way. You know what I'm saying? And but one thing is though, it's like all we can be is our best, because that's pressure. And it's like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and especially without avenues to vent. You know what I'm saying? That can beat you the hell up. Like for real, just weighing that on your shoulders alone. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not responsible for his mistakes. These are your mistakes to make. You see what I'm saying? It's your life to live. And all we can be is the best that we can be. So don't beat yourself up no matter how it goes, is my point. You see what I'm saying? All you can do is try your hardest to make sure that you do the necessary due diligence to do your part. That's all we can do. For real, because it's a deep zone out here, especially when you're trying to be the one to break those curses. It's a lot of pressure. And you capable, because at the end of the day, the Most High wouldn't have gave you that knowledge of the trauma in the first place. This is your turn right here for a reason. You see what I'm saying? And it's crazy that you got the knowledge of it being a curse, and you got the will to want to break it. You see what I'm saying? So,
hey, bro.
Before
y'all go, it's crazy because I just had a kind of breakdown yesterday. I was like, bro, everybody's asking something from me. I'm always the one that brings the light to other people. And I was just like, I need somebody to pour into me. And I really appreciate y'all, bro. Like Tyree, Ace, Nico, King, Blunt, man, I appreciate y'all boys. Cause I ain't really this is real life therapy. This is real life therapy, man.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
No doubt, brother.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all brothers, man. Look at Ace. What is a Man podcast, man? Live. Real, man. Hey, we brothers coming together one conversation at a time. We can have episode 3 coming soon, man. I wanted to be one of those financial episodes. We might talk about credit. We might talk about the housing market. We might talk about a bunch of different things. We're gonna try to provide some value in that episode.
Hey man, like I said, my wife work at a bank, so she can always chime in and drop some knowledge.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's have some professionals to drop in.
That's the thing.
That's on the same wavelength as us.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, with the knowledge, and you know, we can. That's a way to give back to the community in that sense too. Like, you know, we just teach everybody, each one teach one. So I mean,
For real,
yeah,
for real.
I appreciate y'all brothers though, man. That's a good
Yes,
conversation. Good
sir. Yes,
conversation,
sir.
man. I learned a lot, man. For real, for real. So
Absolutely.
Y'all take it easy.
therapy session over. We got to do
Yeah,
it more
I'm
often,
playing.
man. We gonna get right though. We gonna get a plan together. We gonna get a plan together. I might have to
All
let
right.
somebody else might have to run it. And when somebody can't get up here, we just like, hey, somebody else might have to jump on and take the lead. Something.
Bet.
We'll figure it out. Y'all brothers be good though, man.
Yes,
Be
sir.
blessed, man. Be
You
blessed.
too.
Be blessed.
Y'all blessed and highly favored.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time, man.
Amen.
Trying to hit the button.